Okay, let us first discuss under school level factor. We have here number one, a guaranteed and viable curriculum. So what is meant by guaranteed and viable curriculum? Why curriculum is a guaranteed and viable? Guaranteed from Merriam Dictionary is an assurance for the fulfillment of a condition. Take note, it is a fulfillment or achievable goals. How about viable? Viable also means possible or attainable. So curriculum is a guaranteed and viable because it can be fulfilled or covered within 205 school calendar days. Identified the essential content against the supplementary content. It is also important that the school head and teacher see to it that the instructional time is protected from unnecessary interruptions to ensure the complete coverage of the essential part of the curriculum. In short, effective school curriculum has a list of agreed upon essential content apart from supplementary content that is mandated by national law, the K-12 in the Philippines. And the sequential arrangement of the essential content facilitates its complete coverage within the allotted school calendar days. The second factor under school level by Marzano is the challenging goals and effective feedback. Every student has different foundation of their knowledge and skills, so we need to establish challenging goals, set high expectations from our students. These goals should be clarified for all students. And of course, in an effective school, specific feedback regarding students' performance is given regularly in the process of teaching learning. We must give our students a constructive feedback from their performance and achievement. If our students can follow the learning within the day, the challenge for us educators is to have a variety of teaching strategies. One example is giving a recap on the lesson. Okay, let's move forward to the third school level factor, the parent and community involvement. Parent and community involvement is the extent to which parents and community are both supportive and involved in school. Marzano suggests 3 features of this involvement. First, communication between school and parents. This is done by conducting general meetings or PTA meetings. Second is participation of a day-to-day working of the school. And the third one is participation in governance of the school. This is where parents transcend from giving money, take part as a teacher aide, guest lecturer, presenter, ground monitor, office clerical assistants, and cook. Parents and other community members feel sense of importance when they involve in school activities for improved achievement of children. So let's move on to the next level factor to be discussed by Sir Similia.
Good morning, classmates. Good morning, sir. Today I'm going to discuss the safe and orderly environment and also the collegiality and professionalism under the school level factors. The safe and orderly environment. It's important and evident to teachers and students do not feel safe, so they will not have the necessary psychological energy for teaching and learning. Effective schools produce a safe and orderly environment, a productive climate, a climate that is conducive to learning. So what is conducive to learning? Conducive to learning is the process that entails staging the physical space, getting students to cooperate, creating a communal environment, and finally maintaining the positive classrooms, climate, and cultures. So, entails staging the physical space. This is act of arranging furniture and decors in the classrooms to show off the best attributes. It helps also to show how their own flow can be arranged for maximum flow of efficiency. Creating the communal environment. This is belongs or relating to a community as a whole, relating to a different groups within the society, and also relating to the religious community. Getting the students to cooperate. Students and the students must be cooperate with each other because cooperation exists when people work together with a common goals. Educators and the teachers also have their cooperations. Teachers also must cooperate to the administrators. Maintaining positive classrooms, climate, and culture refers to the prevailing moods, attitudes, standard, and tone that you and your students feeling when they are inside the classrooms. Climate should feel safe, respectful, and welcoming. So next are the fifth school level factors, and these are the collegiality and professionalism. Collegiality refers to the manners in which teachers interact with one another, while the professionalism is the extent to which they approach their work as a professionals. According to Robert J. Marzano, collegiality characterized by authentic interactions that are professional in nature, and it is displayed in these behaviors. Number one behaviors, openly sharing failures and mistakes. Number two, demonstrating respect for each other. Number three, constructively analyzing and criticizing practices and procedures. So when we say openly sharing failures and mistakes, mistakes happens, and while it may be tempting to keep it a secret, sometimes there's more value in sharing your failures than sweeping and under the rug. So demonstrating respect for each other, they are treating each other with respect by showing they're polite and kind for a lot of people, constructively analyzing and criticizing practice and procedures. So they are open-minded or any criticism on their work. Professionalism. Professionalism embraces several aspects, also like the following: the sense of efficiency, the level of experience, the subject matter knowledge, and the pedagogical knowledge. The sense of efficiency. Sense of efficiency means that believes that they can have a positive classroom management approaches. The level of experience. The level of experience is refers to their work experience level. Then the subject matter knowledge extend beyond knowing a lot about something to suggest that both educators and the students think in a disciplined manner that they can apply in a multitude of places and situations. Number four is pedagogical knowledge. This refers to the specialized knowledge of teaching for creating effective teaching and learning environment for all students. A school where principal and teachers see everyone as a colleague and where everyone thinks and acts as a true professionals will be enveloped by a collaborative school or organizational climate that breeds achievers and the high-performing learners. That's all of my report for today. And next reporter will be Sergio Bilando, and he will report the teacher level factors. Sir Joy.
Hi, my name is Joy. Do you know how the teacher affect the learning style of the learners? Today I'm going to share it with you. So stay put, just relax and enjoy the new mind food. The most important factor affecting student learning is the teacher. There is no doubt that teachers play a significant role in constructing both teaching and learning experiences in schools. A teacher can be called effective if he or she is able to make adequate progress in a heterogeneous class, meaning the high, average, and low performing students in the same class. There are three teacher level factors. I'll be discussing the two of them. Instructional strategies. Effective teachers employ instructional strategies, which is techniques used to help students become independent strategic learners. These strategies become learning strategies when students independently select the appropriate ones and use them effectively to accomplish tasks or meet goals. Instructional strategies that have been proven to be effective are interactive, contextualized, interdisciplinary, or integrated, inquiry-based, geared towards critical thinking, and assessment-driven. It means that each factor has an impact on one another. Interactive is unlike the traditional way of teaching where teachers do a lot of talking and discussion. Being interactive is synonymous to being learner-centered. Students are the ones who do the activities and the teacher will just facilitate them. Engaging activities for students are prepared to make the teacher learning process more interactive. Contextualize. The teacher makes use of what learners know and connects the lesson to the daily life of the learners. Meaning to say the teacher uses examples that are authentic and familiar to the learners. For example, instead of using apple as an example, why not use a mango, which is easier to learn if the student has an understanding or an idea of what is being taught. Interdisciplinary or integrated helps the teacher of the learner from a non-compartmentalized view or a holistic view of life. For example, as an English teacher who would like to teach linear and non-linear text, he or she would use examples such as number of COVID cases, table of food group. These are for non-linear. She could also use an authentic literary piece from other subject for linear text. Teachers of different subjects may also collaborate when giving projects, especially to those who have similar competencies. This can also be considered as interdisciplinary. Inquiry-based, students' role in the learning process is being emphasized rather than the teacher telling students what they know. Students are encouraged to explore the material, ask questions, and share ideas. It is an active learning that starts by posing questions, problems, and scenarios. Memorizing simple recall is discouraged. HATS requires more cognitive processing instead of asking why, when, where, who. The teacher should ask open-ended questions like why and how to effectively develop the HATS of the learners. Teachers should master the art of questioning. Moreover, learners' higher order skills is being developed here. An effective teaching strategy is one that helps the learner develop higher order thinking skills. The classroom management. Classroom management is the process by which teachers in schools create and maintain appropriate behavior of students in classroom settings. The purpose of implementing classroom management strategies is to enhance social behavior and increase student academic engagement. Rules and procedures are commonly established for the following areas: general expectations for behavior, beginning and ending class transitions and interruptions, materials and equipment, group work and set work, and teacher-led activities. Effective teachers establish and enforce rules on the above areas. Minimum rules and procedures with maximum consistency is the best guideline. The next one is consequences. Effective teachers are observed to strike the golden mean between rewards and punishments. Do not abide by the rules' negative consequences, but abide by the rules' positive consequences. Relationships. Effective teachers are capable if the right combination of moderate dominance and moderate cooperation. Effective managers do not treat all students the same, particularly in situations involving behavior problems, and still others might require a firm reprimand. Coin and coin, the witness to describe the mental disposition of effective classroom managers. It is remaining with it, aware of what is happening in all parts of the classroom at all times. By continuously scanning the classroom, even when working with small groups or individuals, this means that the teacher has an eye at the back of.
Thank you, Sir Belando. So now let us discuss the third level factor under teacher's level, the classroom curriculum. Teachers create specific objective from curriculum guide that his or her students should learn within specific period of time. And as mentioned earlier in chapter 1, teachers should follow the sequential learning competencies design in the curriculum. For a teacher to have a classroom curriculum design that help to improve students' learning, he or she does the following. Number 1, identifies the importance of declarative and procedural knowledge in the topics that are to be focus of instruction. Number 2, presents new content multiple times using a variety of input modes. Number 3, makes a distinction between those skills and processes that students have to master versus those they are not. And number 4, presents content in groups or categories to highlight its sameness. And number 5, engage students in the complex tasks that require addressing content in unique ways. So, curriculum is a guide that contains learning competencies designed for teacher to create specific learning objectives using different teaching strategies to be able to provide their students with knowledge and skills expected so that the students can apply it in their everyday life. In the book, it is mentioned that the curriculum was the RBEC or the Restructured Basic Education curriculum, but we already have the revised curriculum, which is the K-12, that is implemented by national law. So we already discussed the first and second level of building an effective school, the school level factor, and the teacher's level factor. So let's move forward to the third level, which is the student's level, that will be discussed by Mama Willie and Sir Rubio.
Hello, good morning everyone. I'm going to discuss the student level factor. Marsani cited 3 categories of student level factor. Number 1, home environment. Home environment as a first factor to achievement does not refer to the socio-economic status of parents. It's not all about money, occupation, or status of parents. Rather, It refers to parents' interest, communication, monitoring, and supervision about the school, regarding schoolwork and behavior of their children inside the classroom, and of course, the parenting styles which preferably authoritative. So, what is authoritative? It is characterized by reasonable demands and high responsiveness. This parenting style is found out to have a strong positive relationship with achievement. Now, let's listen to Teacher Jendelyn Peralta how important the communication of parents regarding the schoolwork, behavior, and achievement of their children.
Communication acts as a bridge to engagement and ultimately strong parent-teacher partnership. Parents can get ideas from school on how to help and support their children. Parents develop a greater appreciation for the important role they play in their children's education. Parents' involvement benefits students by raising their academic achievement, increased motivation for learning, improved behavior, more regular attendance, more positive attitude about homework, and school in general. Parental involvement can help free teachers to focus more on the task of teaching. Having more contact with parents, teachers learn more about the students' needs and home environment. So thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Jen. Now, what are some ways by which parents can show interest in their children's schoolwork? Some ways are: number 1, having frequent and systematic discussions with their children regarding schoolwork. Number 2, giving encouragement to their children regarding schoolwork. And number 3, providing resources to help their children do schoolwork. To all parents like me, and to the future parents, don't forget those ways. Now we'll move on to effective home supervision. What are some observed specific behaviors associated with effective home supervision? They are: number 1, supervising homework time. Number 2, monitoring arrival of children from school. Number 3, monitoring what they do after school. Number 4, monitoring the group they go with in and outside school. And number 5, monitoring hours spent for watching TV. Now we're done with the first category. The second is the learned intelligence or background knowledge. Referred to here as a second student factor in learning is the so-called crystallized intelligence cited by Marzano. What is crystallized intelligence? It is the ability to utilize skills and knowledge acquired via prior learning. It involves the recalling of pre-existing information as well as skills. Examples are recalling historical events, reciting a poem, or simply as knowing how to ride a bike or read a book. Learned intelligence can be directly enhanced by wide reading and direct vocabulary instruction. Hope you all understand our factor number 2. Let us continue to our factor number 3. The last factor, and that is motivation. The third student level factor that has a bearing on achievement is motivation. What is motivation? It is a driving factor for actions, willingness, and goals. Now, what can motivate a student? Some strategies are develop meaningful and respectful relationships with your students, establish higher expectations, and establish clear goals and be inspirational. Aside from this, Marzano summarized 5 theories on motivation to explain the different forces that interact, resulting to the student's level of motivation. And that is to be discussed by Sir Aldrin Rubio. Thank you for listening to me.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. By the way, I am Aldrin Rubio, and the report I have to discuss is Marzano's 5 theories of motivation. So, first, there is the drive theory. Drive theory is the striving of success and the fear of failure. If a student tends to become successful oriented, he or she becomes motivated to engage in new tasks and anticipation of emotional reward. On the other hand, if the students become failure avoidant, the learner fears new tasks because failure incurs negative effect. Second one is the attribution theory. In attribution theory, students perceive causes of success or failure is a better determinant of motivation. It refers to individuals attribute success to ability, effort, luck, and task difficulty. So the third one is self-worth theory. In self-worth theory, this postulates that if a student wants to become acceptable to the group, he or she has to have self-worth first. So the learner must be strongly motivated to succeed, or else may not be acceptable to class because he or she has less worth. Number 4, emotional theory. So in emotional theory, emotions play a prominent role in motivation. Emotions are primary motivators that often override an individual system of values and beliefs relative to their influence in human behavior. So emotions play as prominent role in motivation. So for example, if a student becomes emotionally charged with a specific project, he will do everything that the project demands because he is obsessed by it. So the last and the fifth one is self-system theory. This theory, the self-system houses are deeply seated needs and aspiration organized in somewhat a hierarchical structure. With this added knowledge, he will be guided on what to do and on what not to do to strongly motivate our students to achieve.
Is given the challenging and the challenging.
Now, let's listen to Teacher General to Teacher General General. Let's listen to Teacher General General.
Maintaining positive classroom and classmate.
Marzano's 5 theories. First, drive theory. There are competing forces of drives. The